like better than last video. Anyway, okay. Sorry about that. So, we're on our way to Huntsman's this morning. So after my fabulous Catalina trip, I came back and I was supposed to dose the next day on August, I believe, 14th, 13th. Anyway, I go and, tell them to do the swab. I got parainfluenza and rhinovirus, which I didn't get really sick, which was super surprising. And maybe it's because they gave me the white cells in the IVIG. But they're like, no, we're not dosing. Also, my lip was a disaster. And so they're like, well, we're not going to dose you. And come back on the 25th. So honestly, I have had one full dose of Talvey on July 28th. So I said, well, how, is it leaving my body? And it's in your body for 36 days. So that's a long time. Since then, I have started to have more skin reactions. I know it kind of just looks like I'm kind of red and tan, but I have like, you can't even really see it that well. A lot of pain and itchiness on my hands and my arms, and it's starting to be on my chest, like my feet, and it feels like burning, itching and burning. And I'm like, is this gonna get worse? Like, it's just, so the outside of my body, like around my eyes, is very itchy and painful. It's actually like, I wish I could just take cold compresses and put them all over. So that's part of the Talvey side effects. One thing I haven't even talked about, which is amazing, which again, I could do a whole post about this, is that Talvey, it attacks your keratin cells. So it's like hair, nails, skin, also my mouth. So dry mouth, like not producing saliva and losing my taste. For those of you who know me, food is love. Like, I love good food so much and enjoy sharing it with each other. My husband cooks a ton. Like, we love good food. I love good food. It's been really challenging to lose my taste. In the beginning, it was kind of like, oh, I can still taste like salty and like dill pickles, like mustards. And some things were just like, I would love these peanut butter bars in the morning. When I started eating them, they just were like eating sand. I don't know. They were, it was just the texture, just like a dry nothing. So heartbreaking. So I'm like, okay, well, I had a picture of like one of my dinners one night was like cheese and deli meats with an assortment of mustards. And so that has transformed over time. Like, I need foods with liquid, like smoothies, like soups, like dips. I don't know, but then I can't. Then I taste like faint in the back of my tongue. And then I thought that, I could eat spicier food, because I'm like, well, I can tolerate more, and maybe I can eat more spicy. Well, that kind of backfired on me. On my birthday, actually, I just popped a jalapeno, like, yeah, I can do this like everyone else. I'm such a wuss. And it almost made me have a laryngospasm, which is like your throat closing up. I was like, I was sucking air, like, to try to breathe. Burned my back of my throat and the back of my tongue so bad. And since then, I can't even have like mild salsa, like anything. My husband put roasted hatch chilies in our chili the other night, which totally fine. Couldn't do it. So there's all these fun things that that's a really hard one for me, especially because one thing that I thought that, you know, I was gonna have way more time with this CAR-T, like to go and do things before I relapsed. So we had planned a trip to Paris a while ago, because, you know, I started feeling better we started talking about it last year. By January, I was like, I'm doing good, let's plan it. This is the time. Like, our youngest is a senior in high school. I told my kids I would take them, my older kids, when they graduated high school. They're way out of college, so we're all going. Anyway, this is coming up real fast, and it's been really stressful to kind of make a decision about this. Like, can I go? Is this going to be okay? And the doctors have been like, don't cancel your trip. We'll see how Talvey works. And, you know, I'm like, should I postpone it? I don't know if I'm going to feel worse or better. Being in Paris and not being able to taste food, torture. Like, I have been there multiple times, so luckily I have tasted the food. I have been able to enjoy things. Yeah, and anyway, that's coming up on September 10th. So today, when I dose, I am going to ask for half a dose, because my labs have shown the past 2 times, like, my body usually reacts really well to meds, has pretty bad side effects. So those 2 things, reacts well, has bad side effects. So there are people who haven't tolerated that have done like a half dose, or if they're doing really well, they go to a half dose. Definitely not in the beginning. You know, this is something they would probably do with me later. But I'm like, with my white cells dropping, my skin, my taste, I am gonna beg for a half dose today, and then September 8th, they're gonna do a half dose and give me IVIG before we go to Paris. We cannot cancel our place after, I think, today or tomorrow. So, I mean, we're like 99% going there. It would have to be pretty big to not have us go. It's just gonna be different. You know, it's different when you're just feeling good and you don't have to worry about masking and hand sanitizing and not being able to taste things and not having energy. So, but I'd rather go and have this experience and have my kids have this experience than not go or postpone it. So that's what's happening. My kids came over last night. We talked about all the things, Paris, and because nobody's been excited or thought we were going for a long time, so it's hard to get excited and then be disappointed and sad. So we started really talking about it and like, okay, we're going. It's happening. And the reason it's so important is because my parents were married there, lived there. I was born there. I've lived there. And so I wanted to show them kind of like the history of my parents and me and all the things. And so it's really important to me that I have this trip with my kids to Paris. So I'll let you know what happens after today. Half dose.